Welcome back, students. Another topic from the metal forming process, forging, right? And quick review of the metal forming process. Let me check. First one is the forging, rolling, extrusion, drawing. Remember, in forging we have a die. In between we are placing the metal. Okay, and you see the initial and final product. The shape is getting changed, but the material amount what we taken is the same amount. There is no wastage. Okay, this is the thing what I want to convert from you from these slides. Okay, and for making these type of changes we have various types. One by one we will see. Now before going to forging, and I want to give the practical photos where we are doing and how we are doing the forging process. Most of the time you may see in the first figure, and second, third, fourth, and second one is the manual, and third one is the automatic, and fourth one also automatic, and the fourth one, if you see, it's one of the automobile engine component. I will not tell which component it is. Please go through the internet or refer the books and tell me and what is that component, and also you should know what is the specialty of this component where we are using. Okay, right. Next one, and most probably you guys may be seeing this thing. Yes, sword. When you're seeing the Lord of the Ring and some other movies, the very Asian old script movies, if you see, most of the times they will use forging to make the sword. Why? Because when you are striking with another enemy, huge impact forces will come. Your sword must withstand on the huge impact. So forging components is always withstand impact forces, and there is one small beauty physics behind it, and I will try to explain in the last. If it is not, it is your responsibility to check it out, what is the science behind it and what is the beauty of that forged components. Okay. Now we having the components like hammers and some anvil, one small furnace, or furnace is not available here. To making the instant heat we are having some options. Oh, right. So what is that correct terminology? Find it from the internet. And tongs, you can see here we have variety of tongs, hammers, anvil, and where we are going to heat the metal. Most probably we are having one open heart furnace, or you check it out what is the thing and what is the input of the thing, that also you have to check. Okay. Now these are called tongs. You can see different shapes or tongs are available, because in the previous slides you have seen that components are somewhat different. You see here somewhat thin and lean component. Here you can see some square shape and complicated shape and etc. etc. To hold this thing we need tongs, because the material will be in red card. You can see it is in red card. You cannot use your normal hand to hold this thing, and you cannot use any gloves to grip the thing. So we need something different, and which should able to support the forging process. That is nothing but tongs, and for that only we are having different types of tongs. These are all different types of tongs, and you can see the closed view of the tongs, and it is able to grab various type of materials. And let me check the next video clip. You may have some ideas. Absolutely, you can see flat, rectangular, square, circle component, cylindrical, not circle, cylindrical components are available. Not only for this, when you are going to make some bending operations, that we have different type of hammer. When you want to make a normal flattening, that also you have different components. Okay, the major thing is anvil. This is the thing most of the time we are seeing in the blacksmithy lab, that is anvil. We have different portions are available. These portions are used to make complicated shapes. Suppose you want to make S hook, you can make the bend over here, and you can use the hand to bend the initial bend. Then you can place the workpiece over here, and you can give force so that it is perfectly bended. Okay. So these are all the things, and we have various spare parts are available: base, foot, shoulder, horn, table, and etc. heel, body, etc. Okay, and some of the hammers. And there is 3 type of forgings are available: open die forging, closed die forging, and cold forgings. And apart from this, we have another 3 more classification also. We will see, it's depend upon your book, but everything is categorized under this thing only. Now, open die forging means there won't be any close. See, this portion is empty. Here also it is empty. Whenever you giving the force, it will deform. That's it. Finally, we can take it. The place is placed between upper die and lower die. Right? Got it? So, open die forging is will be like this only. So, initially it will be in H0. In between it is H. When you are finishing the component, it is HF. For your better understanding, I can show that. See, there is no material wastage. The shape of the material, that means initial workpiece to final finished product, is changed. That's it. Now here I have one more example, but here we going to focus with the closed die forging. You can see open die forging, this is closed die forging, and this die portion is going to close the bath so that no metal will come out. If extra metal is available, that will come out as a flash because of the huge impact. Now forging press, to make it as a automatic, we are having forging press, nothing but the same operations. First we have to hold it, then give the force, it will come and contact the workpiece, then third attempt it will give a perfect workpiece or output. Similarly, we have the open, closed, flashless. You see the difference between closed and flashless, then you will understand what is it. The full material cannot be escaped and it will be fully deformed into perfect shapes depending upon the punch and die shapes. And we have some complicated shapes like this. We have to maintain some design aspect ratio, because in this small corner it is very difficult to add the material when you are forcing the workpiece from top to bottom. So here there is a chance to make some empty places, but in this perfect shape, when we are giving the force, that excess material will come and they will occupy here. And you can see there is some gold shunts are available. If you don't know what is gold shunt, you just go to casting defects and rectifications, and I have clearly explained. And why I putting these slides over here? So students, we can make any complicated shapes, but you should know the design for manufacturing aspect ratio, so that only you can take exact amount of material and you can fulfill whatever you want. Now another thing is bolt. Yes, nut and bolt we are every day we are using, and this is bolt where we are putting the thread, and this is bolt head. You can see it is in red hot stage, and we have different shapes depending upon the Allen key, screwdriver, square driver, etc. We have profile, and how we are making this profile, that is next question. That process is calling upsetting and heading. Okay, upsetting is nothing but first you have to take the piece of material, you grab it, and it still is in hot. Don't say that it is in room temperature, it is in hot. So next, after gripping, we have to check whether how much amount of material we need. After that, we should move the punch with high velocity and force, so that the material will be deformed into this exact shape. Okay, that's it. Similarly, we are going to make the headings for the nut and bolt. Different heads I have shown in the previous slide. Similar type of head shapes will be placed in the punch. According to that only we are going to get the heads. Now again, detailedly there is giving the option how we are making the bolt. We are taking initially from the wire cutting, we are taking small portion, then we are going to place it in the approximate punch and die. After that die is coming, punch is coming and making the record shape. It is taking out, pointing. Then we are going for thread rolling. Finally, a bolt was in your hand. The same process for different type of heads, it's available over here. Press forging is also one of the repeated topic we are already discussed. If you want, you can use this image also for your better understanding. I never stop you. And here, impact extrusion. So most probably once you are seeing this shape, you may identify what is the byproduct of this process. Impact punch. Punch is available when you are having piece of material, when you're dropping from some height, it will come and close it. Finally, we are getting some shape. Most probably you may guess what is that product it is. If you are guessed, you are the brilliant. And another thing is the spanner sets, which also taken from the forging process, and you can see the thing, it is drop forged steel. Yes, so every component have their own strength. Okay. Cold versus hot forging is nothing but when you are processing the way above temperature, required temperature, it will be hot. The normal temperature, slightly above the room temperature, is called cold. And we have already discussed about the initial rolling process. The same will be over here. And some of the other process also I have given. Some of the components which can be drawn by the forging process. I have asked one question in the beginning, that is, what is the specialty of forged product? Because when you are taking some quantity of material and keep on pushing and reducing its area and you making a smaller, a compact piece, so what will happen? That space between two grains will be reduced and they will be close to each other. That means it will more attractive to each other. So it can able to strong more impact. So that only the component which you using hammer can use to fix 1,000 of nails in your home. You got it? That is a specialty. So the density of the material will be more high, even though it's a small component which is came out from forging, the density will be more and high. Okay. So students, thanks for watching. Still, if you want anything, you can comment it on the section. I will do it and I will upload the new video. Thank you.